Okay, we're closing pillar 3 with a topic that most leaders overlook and it probably affects most of our team members, and that is financial stress. So to help us unpack this silent driver of anxiety and disengagement, we have Jenny Chia. She is a certified financial planner. She's an associate director at Synopsis Advisory, with 20 years of experience guiding families with wealth, with clarity and purpose. She's also a multiple-time top of the table awardee. I have to explain what it means. She's basically the top 1% financial professionals in the world for performance, for client service. She's also a dedicated mom of 2 and a long-time mentor in schools and churches, where she helps shape the next generation in values and leadership. So please join me to welcome Jenny Chia.
Let's begin with something simple but powerful. I'd like to invite you to think of 3 employees in your team. Those who are reliable, capable, the ones who don't complain, the ones whom you think are doing well. Now, ask yourself this question. Do you know if any of them is financially stressed? Put up your hands if you do know. Look around you. Not many. Just like this backpack that I've been carrying, your employees have been carrying their financial burden quietly. I didn't say anything. You didn't have the opportunity to ask. Because that's what financial stress looks like at the workplace. It's invisible until it breaks someone's back. And that's what I call the silent killer of workplace mental health. According to PwC's Financial Wellness Survey, 1 in 3 employees are chronically stressed about money. But they didn't speak up. They won't tell you. Why? Because they do not want to appear weak. And yet they come to work every day carrying a burden that's invisible until it breaks them. And as leaders, you probably already understand this. People rarely burn out from tasks alone. They burn out from stress and pressure that's unmanageable, constant, and isolating. And so I would like to invite you, leaders, to explore something most leaders haven't yet quite seen clearly. That financial stress may be the missing link in your fight against burnout strategy. And by addressing this financial stress directly, not only will you enhance performance, you'll also enhance productivity and build more resilient people and teams. In short, financial stress kills. Act to shield. We talk a lot about burnout, don't we? And you've probably put in place what you believe are the right interventions. Mental wellness apps, resilient trainings, flexible work, and so on. But what if? What if these are only treating the symptoms? What if the real fire is happening elsewhere? Quietly, invisibly, in the background. Back to PwC's Employee Financial Wellness Survey, 57% of the employees say that money is the number 1 source of stress, of which 76% says that stress affects their productivity. And financially stressed employees are twice as likely to leave your organization within the following year. And it gets worse. Add inflation to the mix, the pressure skyrockets. Your employees are not just stretched, they're squeezed from all sides. And if they belong to the sandwich generation, caring for elderly parents above and young children below, the stress that they're facing today is relentless. It's overwhelming. It's unlike anything we've seen before. And yet, most wellness strategies do not include financial well-being. It's like trying to get rid of the smoke without finding the source of the fire. Let me share with you about John, an ex-star performer in my husband's ex-company. You know, he's smart, eloquent, capable. Everybody believes that he'll do well, very well. But John was fighting a silent war. He's struggling to support his child, mounting bills, spiraling credit card debts. But he didn't speak up. Nobody asked. Until one day, everything collapsed. Because of clients' complaints, it was found out that in order to hit his company targets to get his bonuses, there was mis-selling to company's customers. And so service recovery had to be done. And when all the dust was settled, it wasn't just money that was lost. It was trust, credibility, reputation. And of course, John was fired. Next, we have the case of my sister. She came to me one day saying, 二姐, she calls me 二姐. 二姐, do you have a job to recommend? I'm going to quit my job. Puzzled, I asked. Why? I thought you were doing well in your work. And she said, I am doing well in my work. But you know what? I've been working overtime because of the stupid mistakes of my colleague. It's really getting very tiring. Enough is enough. Apparently, because of the financial burden of needing to support her dementia care of her mother and 2 kids, my sister colleague had to work a part-time job on top of a full-time job. That's why she was constantly tired, unable to focus at work. And that leads to frequent mistakes. As much as the team and my sister sympathizes with her circumstance, there was increasing resentment and frustration. So in the end, my sister quit. Not because of bad bosses or poor paychecks, but because of the mental and emotional drag of needing to work overtime because of the mistakes of others. So, here's the truth we must face as leaders. That by ignoring financial stress, not only will we compromise performance, we will also lose loyalty, culture, and future talent. And what makes it harder is that financial stress wears a mask. These people still show up. They smile. They pretend that everything is okay until something breaks. And so, is there anything you can do? The good news is that there's something you can do as leaders. And you don't need a new budget or study and take many exams like myself to become a certified financial planner. You just need a framework that works well within what you're already doing well. I call it the ACT framework. ACT. And it's a framework designed to create financial resilience without adding complexity. And as leaders, you need to act before this breaks them. And my framework will help you be your defense against this silent killer. With this framework, I'll show you how you can guide your employees release this financial mental burden once and for all. So let's start with A, awareness. Well, you cannot solve something that you cannot see. So we need first to be aware of what's happening. Awareness is like the pair of glasses that helps to review the hidden stress at your workplace before it becomes a crisis. You can start by conducting quarterly anonymous financial stress checks. Train your managers to notice red flags. And of course, normalize conversations about money. DBS, in this case, has done this very well, whereby they train their people manager to notice early signs of stress. On top of that, teach them how to initiate sensitive conversations, and of course, direct their employees to available resources. They have something interesting called the IOK as part of their employee assistance program. And it's where they provide confidential support to their employees who are facing personal and work-related issues, including financial concerns. Next, we have C, coaching and classes. And this is not just about tips. It's about empowerment. Once you're aware of the problem, you need a direction. Coaching and classes is the compass that directs you to where you need to go and what you need to do. So you can partner with certified financial planners to conduct financial consultations for your employees and even classes to teach about financial strategies. When your employees are equipped with practical strategies, they will move from advanced worrying to advanced planning. Starbucks, in this case, does this very well by having something called the Financial Resilience Toolkit, developed in collaboration with a financial services partner. Over here, it provides guidance to their employees to talk about financial strategies like budgeting, short-term planning, long-term savings, retirement planning, and more. All these are resources aimed at offering their employees resources from one-on-one coaching, classes, to even tools that's to help their employees enhance their financial stability and, of course, enhancement with regards to the financial journey. Last but not least, we have T, transformation. Transformation of workplace culture. When financial wellness becomes part of your culture, your people will start to grow. And it becomes a missing piece that completes the whole puzzle. You can start by celebrating your employees' financial milestones on an organization level, and also include whole person leadership training as part of your leadership training. This is where leaders must also learn how to talk about financial well-being. They need to learn how to manage their personal finances, set healthy financial boundaries, and more. And of course, talk about financial wellness as part of your total well-being. When money is no longer a taboo, performance becomes sustainable. Google, in this case, has implemented some of these elements by implementing something called the whole person leadership module as part of their leadership planning. And this is where leaders must learn how to manage themselves well as well, because they believe that holistic well-being is equally as important to achieving sustainable performance and leadership. Now, let me end with this. A C-suite client of mine shared with me about her colleague, senior executive with 2 kids and elderly parents. 2 years ago, she was diagnosed with a rare colon cancer. Her whole treatment lasted around 2 years. But what's scary is, the whole treatment cost more than $1 million Sing dollars. But you know what? Sarah didn't panic. She didn't spiral, because she has put in place buffers. 3 years before her cancer diagnosis, her company has implemented something called the Financial Wellness Program, where Sarah got to engage a financial coach and a consultant. And this is where she put in place emergency buffers, protection, and even money strategies. That was why when cancer strikes, her world did not collapse. Today, she's back at the workplace, fully recovered, thriving, mentoring others, leading a team. And that's what happens when companies act. You don't just protect performance. You protect people, you protect talents, and you protect the future of your organization. So, I'd like to leave you with this question. How is financial stress silently costing your company? You've worked hard to hire the right people. Now, it's time to keep them. Because when you eliminate the silent killer of workplace mental health, not only will you eliminate burnout, you will also enhance productivity, build resilience, retain talents, and foster a workplace culture where no salary can replicate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wendy.